6:30, and we will call the meeting to order. Start with a pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yep. So, everyone's had an opportunity to take a look at the minutes from June 15th. May I have a motion to adopt the minutes as distributed?
I'll move it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carried. May I have a motion to adopt the minutes of July 20th, 2023?
I'll move it again.
I'll second it again. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any
Abstain, I wasn't here.
Okay, one abstention.
Two abstentions.
Two abstentions. Mr. Girassi, Mr. Kudaraskis. And I'm an aye. Motion carried. Okay. So we're going to have a public hearing to consider local law number 6 of 2023. May I have a motion to open up the public hearing?
I'll move that.
I'll second it.
Okay. So, Ms. Falcone, can you explain what this public hearing is about?
Sure.
Just briefly.
We adopted local law number 1 of 2023, which was for the construction code. And there's a paragraph that was supposed to be in the beginning of the code, which general code brought up to me after I had filed the local law. And they said that municipalities always adopt that paragraph, and that's the one that you all have in your agenda packets. So we just have to add that paragraph, and but we have to have another local law for it though, just to add it. And then I'll send it back to general code. So general code brought it up and said, we have to have this in here, basically.
Okay.
It's nothing, we didn't do anything wrong, it's just they recommended it for the code.
Doesn't change it at all, it's just
No.
additional language that they recommend.
Yeah.
Okay, is there anyone wishing to speak for or against the proposed local law? Okay. May I have a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Public hearing is now closed. Citizens' comments. Is there anybody in the crowd that would like to comment on agenda items only?
How you doing? Fred Birch, Plainville Road. Regarding the discussion about the water in the spray park,
Okay, that's not an agenda item, so that's,
something that we discussed at the meeting. I'd like to help out the town. I've got a little bit of experience at a few. I actually foiled the clerk 3 weeks ago.
okay.
And listen, you can do a dye test. I worked for Bano for 15 years. He's the biggest irrigation installer in New York.
What I was, like I said, it's not on the agenda.
You can do a dye test and find out what your leak is.
Mr. Merrill, and then discuss it with him, and then he can make a determination on that.
It's easy to figure out where your leak is. I just wanted to help out the town. You can
Okay.
do it with a dye pack.
Okay.
Regarding extension of the solar moratorium, I'm in favor of that. Not sure if the board has become aware or not, but last week there was a very huge article in the news in our neighboring sister county, Madison County, with a solar field the size of what is located next to me on Church Road.
Actually, I think it was up north. There was a town of Lyon. That's up near Watertown.
Okay, all right. Well, I thought the report said it, Madison County. But, so it went up in flames. And the concern that I have is the residents in the 3 Mile area that were relocated due to the toxic. And to be honest with you, I've attended all the public hearings regarding the solar and invested a lot of my free time in looking stuff up on the internet. I've even went to the companies doing the installation and asked for brochures and stuff. And that's not anything that I can remember anybody addressing or being concerned or being brought up as a topic. You know, my concerns were always the way it looks, the aesthetics. You know, I was always in favor of if we can get something for close to nothing.
Well, I think that's all new with everybody. Nobody knows about
Right.
it. There was something they didn't realize, and I think that the report I heard was that there's a downstate senator that's proposing some legislation that would put statewide moratorium on these things until they determine what it is. So even though we're
I've been
probably going to move forward with it, then...
And then also, since we have one, we got one already, and I think, I'm not sure, I mean, I saw measurements out on Dingle Hole and Lamson where I'm not sure if those are going in because they're grandfathered or whether we're slowing them down in time or whatever, but our sister town, Van Buren, has a couple, 2 at least I'm aware of, and we share a fire district, and I think since we already got them, we ought to make sure our firefighters are prepared in the event something like that happens. I think it's a little bit different task to tackle than the normal fires that they're used to. And if that's the case, I think we should be out in front of it and be prepared before it happens instead of saying, hey, look what happened, we need some of this stuff now.
Well, fire people, fire agencies are the professionals in that. I'm not a professional firefighter, so I think that, I mean, if you're going to talk to them about it, you go to their meetings.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're the ones that are going to.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't even know where to start.
Bob, I just watched enough and followed up on the report. I might have got the county wrong, but the gist of the story was quite a few guys in departments showed up, but they were not having luck putting out the fire with water. It was resisting the water. In other words, it takes a different type of application. I don't know if it's foam with a retardant or whatever. But if, we show up for a fire like that, well, we got his water, we're gonna have the same situation with the toxic. And luckily, most of the time, the prevailing wind is coming from the west, so if it ever happened on Church Road or whatever, it'd be going that direction and not my direction. But anyways, appreciate your time. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. Top board comments. Start with you, Mr. Moore.
I just want to thank everybody for watching, coming out, and I'm just going to stick to the agenda.
I will stick to the agenda as well.
Just want to thank everyone for coming out. 2 weeks ago, we had a highway committee meeting. We met with Budweiser, went to their facility, also had Radisson there as well too, to talk about the trucks on Brundage Road. We found out upon all of our determination that there was a lack of communication with the truck drivers on where to park, right? You try to find where they're allowed to park, you need a map. So there's no communication, so when the drivers come early to pick up their load, they're not handed a map and say, hey, please park here. Plus there's no signage either. So we're working on Budweiser and with Lynn Tanner to the RCA to come up with some ideas for signage, and that way Budweiser also can give them flyers too if the truck drivers show up early, so that way they know where to park, because it's not being utilized right now, as Budweiser would like them to use it all the time, because they're paying the monthly fee on that. But that's
Can I
it.
ask a question to you about the Budweiser negotiation?
Actually, no.
Okay, I'll ask you.
You can do it afterwards.
I will, thank you.
Yeah.
And that's all I have.
Thanks for everybody attending and those watching. Just found out this week that rifle hunting is going to be allowed in Onondaga County, so that'll be somewhat of a game changer for people for big game hunting this year. I'll have to make a decision if I'm going to get a rifle or not. But other than that, just stick to the agenda. Thank you.
Supervisor Zachariah from the town of Van Buren and I met with Senator Rachel May Tuesday regarding the 631 bypass. And she understands what the problem is. She has some friends in Baldwinsville. And with the county's plan, the village is a choke point. There's an artery that they have in their design that would go from Madison County down 31 to Cayuga County. And like we explained to her, that the village is a choke point. The only way to relieve the pressure on the village, truck traffic and vehicular traffic, is to have a bypass. And she was in favor of sending a letter to state DOT, so we're going to work with her in drafting a letter. But we've talked to Assemblyman Magnarelli, people from state DOT, the county planning. Our next move is going to be with Micron, talk to them. But so far, everything has been positive, and people, I think, are realizing that that is an issue, and hopefully we can get some movement on it and maybe get some relief in the future when they come back with the traffic study. That's all I have. Department heads, Mr. Rivazigno.
The other thing I want to just add, as far as the agenda is concerned, the motion to approve the extension really should be a motion to call a public hearing.
I have it. Yeah, I'm going to change that.
Okay, that's all I have.
Mr. Mayor.
We've got several programs that are coming up or ongoing that have registration open. We've got some fitness classes that have been ongoing. These are by a couple of local personal trainers, and they're doing this Monday through Friday. So all of the information is up on the website and on our Facebook page. So registration is open for that, for fitness classes at the park. We have another session of Arts and Crafts Club starting August 7th, so registration is currently open for that. We have a few sports-related camps, if you want to call them. They're just consecutive day programs. Ultimate Frisbee Club. These are all for kids. I should back up. The arts and crafts is for the kids. The fitness classes are for adults. The summer sports clubs, grades 3 to 5 and grades 6 to 9. So we had Ultimate Frisbee Club coming up, and then Games Unlimited. So that's a mix of sports type games. So registration is open for all of those. We have Challenge Island, which has been working with us to offer some STEM-based camps throughout the summer. They've got another one. They've kind of changed the theme and the name for the last one, which is August 14th to 18th. It was supposed to be, I can't even remember which one it was supposed to be, but they've changed it. It's now a pet related. It's Petpalooza. Registration for that is open. And then lastly, what we have open is B-Fast Track and Field Program. We're collaborating with a couple of local, a husband and wife team that are lifelong runners and track athletes themselves, and going to put together a track program in September, and that'll utilize the track at the high school, and so registration is open for that as well. So again, all these flyers are on our website and on the Facebook page. So.
Kevin, where are you at with projects at the park?
Such
I
as.
don't know, what are you working on? Is there a restroom expansion or facility? Or what
There was, I believe, we're just reviewing whatever, there was a grant for that, but it was nowhere near enough to do what needs to be done to that building.
So we're not doing anything to the bathroom facility?
Do we reapply for that grant?
Not immediately, no.
Do we reapply for that grant for the facilities?
I'm gonna look to see if that's even something that we can either reallocate towards something else, or if we can add to it.
Well, do you still have a need? I mean, we were gonna do something to the restroom, we were gonna
I
expand.
believe the plan was
I think it was prior to that.
changing stations and, like changing rooms.
But you don't need that.
And a pavilion.
So you're satisfied
We
the
need-
facility we have now works?
No, we need more bathrooms.
Okay, we need more
We
bathrooms.
need more bathrooms.
Are we
Right.
putting a plan together to address that?
I will be working on that, not at the moment, no, but I will be working on that.
And your pickleball courts, they're in okay shape, or where are you at with them? You're done
Yeah.
with that?
Well, I mean, that will always, I mean, we're done with it at the moment. I mean, there's always gonna be on a cycle or routine basis, on a cycle of 3 to 5 years where we have to resurface the courts, but right now,
You're in okay shape?
they're in okay shape, yeah.
And how about the spray park, how's it doing?
Waiting for a vendor to come back. There's just a ball valve that needs to be replaced, so. But other than that, it's been running with no problems all summer long.
How about attendance? What is your perspective on how it's doing attendance-wise?
Attendance on the spray park, I mean, all I can do is guesstimate on that. I don't have anybody taking count, but on a daily basis, Monday through Friday, I would say 100 plus
A day.
kids are there a day. On the weekends, again, just an educated guess, I would say we're probably in the 400 to 500 kids going through that.
Plus you're gonna pick up more now too, that football started, soccer started, all that kind of
A
stuff.
little bit. I mean, that's just,
Parents bringing their little ones.
right, siblings that come along, that, yeah.
Now, you had sent an email out about big event coming up in September.
Right, we are hosting the Baldwin Foundation, it's a pickleball tournament, which a collaboration with our pickleball players, myself and the Baldwin Foundation have put together a pickleball tournament to benefit the Baldwin Foundation. So it's basically a three-day event. And so yeah, so yes, the park is unavailable to athletic organizations that weekend. Just the main concern there is parking.
Right. Now, do they fill out the permit or application like we have everybody else? Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll see
Oh,
that
yeah.
at the next meeting? Okay.
Do you want to see it?
Well, I just know that usually we have the permit and application for use.
Special event license.
Right.
You guys typically see the ones for the road races.
Okay.
Closing
Yeah,
roads.
I'd just like to see it. I just didn't know. I mean, are we donating time or are they paying for
They
use?
pay for the courts.
Okay. Very
No
good.
parking is a good problem to have. I drove by a couple parks and I saw like 1 or 2 cars there, so not having room in the park is a good problem.
To a certain degree. But our problem now is we need more parking.
Good.
Thank you.
Mr. Sweeting. I think I said pretty much all I'm going to say for the night. Other than, just wanted to make mention of the state touring meetings. It is a 2-year thing, but it's my understanding that because we used it all at one time. That's why they gave us such the increase. And it's just my input that we start dividing it and they see it as, well, then it's not, they don't have enough immediate need or work to use it all at once like they have. Maybe next time we don't give as much. So that's how that works.
I left you a message regarding a dead deer up on 31 and 631. Was that taken care of?
That was, yeah, I notified the state, that's their job. Actually, I was gonna mention, I'm working with the DEC because currently we don't have anywhere, we don't pick up dead animals because we don't have anywhere to take them or the, training to handle that stuff. But, yeah, the state has a crew that comes and picks it up.
So what do we do with deers that are on the side of the road on town lanes?
Well, if it's an obstruction of traffic, it gets dragged out to the side.
And we leave it there?
Yep. We don't have a policy about it. The county doesn't have a policy, and the village doesn't have a policy, neither does the town.
So what are you saying, we need a policy?
I'm saying that I'm trying to work on one, yeah.
On average, real good, how many deer are we talking? A couple a year, 3?
Couple.
Yeah, just,
So the county doesn't have, the county doesn't have a process? They don't have people that pick them up either, right?
They don't have a process, Kevin. It's just a perennial problem. Just, you deal with it on a case-by-case basis.
Fill your tags.
you call it.
Rifles might help that problem.
There's no place to put them. There's no place to put animals of that size anywhere.
I know mainly it's, the various diseases too. Possibly dealing with. Yeah.
I know Manlius has a compost program for animal carcasses. Essentially, they put them in a big, huge wood chip pile and let nature take its course. We don't do brush pickup, so it's not something that we could necessarily do because we don't generate wood chips to compost them in. But if we get training and the equipment to deal with, maybe it's something we could work with Manlius to do something like that.
Clay has their compost pile. I wonder if they do that.
I could ask the guys.
Yeah. Right there at their highway barn, you can go pick up compost.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's not something that you would.
No, I know. Maybe once, that way my wife will never ask me to do it again.
Stone it is.
Stone it is.
Nothing else at this time.
Anything else?
Nothing else at this time.
Spell call.
Speaking of deer, the hunting licenses went on sale August 1st. Doe permits as well. The DMPs are available for sale August, September, then they take a break in October, put everything together, and then the lottery starts again on November 1st. And so anybody who comes back for a DMP, if they've already tried a DMP with their $10 and they didn't get it, they can get, if there's any areas left, they can come back for free and see what's left.
Okay. Ed?
I think people should probably just come to my office and get their licenses. It's much easier than going to like Dick's or Walmart. So.
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah. And the town clerk's office will be going to 410s with Fridays off starting Monday. So if we could put something on the agenda. Yes.
That was a joke.
It wasn't.
Come in next Friday, you'll see.
Wasn't fun.
I'm tired. I got a text really early this morning from a town board member.
Yeah, I didn't update my email password. I paid for it. I'm sorry.
Okay. Moving on to regular agenda items. May I have a motion to adopt local law number 6, amending local law number 1 of 2023, subdivision 4D. Change 122 construction codes uniform.
I'll move it.
Second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carried. We have a motion to accept the comptroller's the town comptrollers and Bonadale's audit reports of the Town of Lysander Justice Court for the fiscal years ending 2021 and 2022.
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
I have a question. So I read them over. I've never really looked at an audit like that before. So in both years, you just pulled 10 random, I just don't know how the process works. And it just seemed odd that in both years there was 9 out of 10 for one judge and 10 out of 10 for the other.
There wasn't. The only time there was that finding was in my audit in 2022. So because Bonadale was here, they were doing 2021 while I was doing 2022, they put that in their letter just because there was an actual finding.
Okay.
So it was just one.
So the 2021 audit was fine?
Yeah, she
Okay.
just had a comment about some cash receipt dates that are in the comments behind Appendix 10.
And
But
everything?
it wasn't enough to make the letter.
Right, and everything on your end looked great? Okay, thank you. That's all.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carried. We're going to table motion C, and motion D it has to change. We have to do a public hearing, so prior to extending the solar moratorium. So D, may I have a motion to hold a public hearing on Thursday, August 17, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. to consider a local law to approve the extension of the solar moratorium from October 20, 2023 to April 20, 2024. This motion shall authorize the town clerk to advertise for same.
I will move that. I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. I think we need to go into executive session to talk about a specific employee's work history. So may I have a motion to move into executive session at 6:58?
I'll move it. I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, we're in executive session, so we're not going to be voting on anything tonight. So,